Hello, I'm Katherine Hannah. Thank you for having a look at our West Yorkshire Sport Facebook preview of Leeds United against Millwall this weekend. We'll have dedicated Leeds United build-up from 2 o'clock on BBC Radio Leeds and then exclusive FM commentary on 92.4 FM, 103.9 FM with Adam Pope, our Leeds United commentator and former Leeds United striker. Noel Whelan going to join us as well. Adam here with me now. Let's talk about the team news first. It looks like no Liam Cooper for this weekend. Bianchi possibly out for the season. So how big a blow is it not having them available?
Well, I think Liam Cooper was admirably replaced by Giuseppe Bellucci, who I don't think we were expecting it. Were very disciplined, both him and Sol Bamba, in the final third where they needed to be. Not only that, he's played on the left-hand side and he is normally right-footed. So I think at this stage, if they play like they did at Reading, then it'll be okay. But he's also been the captain too, although I think Bamba's more than capable of taking over that mantle as he's proved. So that would be the one that I thought would have been the worry, but it seems to be okay. Bianchi, well, I felt slot offered more when he came on anyway, personally. So I think Leeds will be all right without Bianchi, to be quite honest. He's a good passer of the ball, but they have those already in abundance, I would say. So it's not a major blow, but I do feel for him having fought his way back into the side.
Austin and Berardi available again after illness, but having got that fantastic away win at Reading, would he actually be tempted to change the team much, even if Austin was fit to bring him back in?
Well, I heard you speak to him, Katherine, and he's not afraid, is he, to stick with things that have worked. And clearly it did work the other night. I've got to say, that probably goes down for me as probably the best performance, all things considered, that Leeds have turned out probably in quite a long time. So would you change it? No, wouldn't. And also, with them being at home, I might stick with that system as well, rather than go for a more 4-4-2.
Although he did say, Neil Redfearn, that although the 4-4-2 didn't work against Brentford, that might have had as much to do with the opposition as to the formation itself. Do you think there's any chance that he would go back to that, with it being home, the impetus to have two strikers up front?
Well, what I like about Neil is he does talk about wanting to make the running, doesn't he, and trying to put on a bit of a display for the home fans too. However, and you think that maybe against Millwall, if he did go 4-4-2, that they'd still have enough to do that, but he might be tempted just to sort of stick with it. And I think it's a system that is creating a chance or two for Steve Morrison. Okay, he hasn't taken them, but he's having a good time of it, to be honest. So if it works away from home, there's no reason why it wouldn't work at home too. I don't think it's long before he'll get a goal. So it wouldn't surprise if he stays with a sort of five-man midfield.
If Morrison's ever going to get a goal, then against Millwall would be the opportunity to do it. Neil Redfearn is playing down this match. You can see why some people would want to talk it up as to being a 6-pointer, absolutely crucial for the season. He's saying, actually, win this one but then lose the next few. It doesn't make any difference. There's still a long way to go. Do you think he's right to talk it down a bit?
Yes, and I think when you suggested to him as well that has the bite gone out of this fixture, I get what you mean in terms of
Well, Millwall don't bring so many fans anymore or anything, do they? And there's always going to be that needle, but I don't think it's quite as intense now as it used to be.
No, I agree with you on that too. But I think in terms of an importance of a game, and yes, it is, as he says, a tough Northern club against, a tough South London club. There's a lot on it. There's a lot on it for them because, if, of course, 5 points clear of the relegation zone now, Leeds. They put 8 points between them and Millwall. That's a big gap for them. So, in that sense, I think it is a really, really important game. Bearing in mind that the next one is Middlesbrough away, and they're flying at the moment.
Final word on Barnsley. Danny Wilson losing his job. Of course, Neil Redfearn is always going to be linked with that because have such an illustrious playing career with Barnsley, and yet he's reiterated that he's got a job to do at Leeds. The start of something really big, I think, was the phrase from him this week.
Well, and I think the performance in midweek, and it could really have gone both ways. His trust and his ability, along with his coaching, to bring through the young players is reaping dividends already this season for Leeds United. It's quite clear. And that is probably the biggest thing that's keeping him at Leeds United, I would say. Plus, it's the club he supports. But to see that, it must give him a tremendous amount of satisfaction. So, at the moment, his contract is through really till the summer. Then there's an option for another year, but they're always tend to be in the club's favour. So, at that point, what happened? A couple of months down the line, then you were just wondering, where's this going to go? What's, if Massimo comes back, what's he going to decide, etc.? Because ultimately, it'll be up to him. So, Barnsley right now, would you go there? 7 points above the drop, but 7 points away from relegation. He'll always be linked, as he says. Right now, my own view, he's better for Leeds United, definitely. And you'd always think, well, why would you swap Leeds United for any club? Really, to be quite honest, unless he was going up into the Premier League. So, I don't see it, but you cannot rule anything because you know what the owner's going to do, in due course.
No. We'll have this conversation again at 6 o'clock on Saturday evening.
Yeah.
It could be a completely different picture, but for the time being, Neil Redfearn definitely is not going anywhere, it seems. As always, thank you, Adam. You can listen to all the Leeds United pre-match build-up from 2 o'clock, BBC Radio Leeds, West Yorkshire Sport, and then hear the game in full. It's exclusive FM commentary, 92.4 FM, 103.9 FM. What better way to spend a romantic Valentine's Day afternoon than Leeds against Millwall? See you at 2 o'clock.